This is going to be a three-part series. The more I think about it, this is going to be a three-part series. Okay, so the first video, this one, we're going to talk about Daisy Ridley because she's been making the rounds recently on different news sites in regards to her experience on Star Wars, how she felt about the character Rey, and whether or not she felt as though she deserved to be a part of the Star Wars universe. The second video I'm going to make is basically going to be about Kathleen Kennedy. That's a whole kettle of beans. And then the third video I'm going to make is basically going to be an overview of Star Wars in general and whether or not there's like a level of fatigue on us, the consumers' part, us, the fans' part, but then also a level of they playing scared on Disney's part, moving outside of and away from the Skywalker family and the whole Clone Wars to Rebellion phase of Star Wars. But focusing on Daisy Ridley for this video. So she had about 3 major articles over like the last week. The very first one was talking about how her experiences as playing Rey really shaped the way in which she saw Hollywood and then how she kind of ended up interacting with fans. And I can understand that completely. She got a shit ton of undeserved hate. And it's one of those situations that I've called out before, which is a lot of people who do not like something, instead of finding the person who is fucking up the thing that you like, you attack the nearest person that you can basically place blame on. Because Daisy Ridley was basically the face of this new franchise, a lot of people took their anger and frustration out about the direction that the sequel trilogy had basically gone on, out on her, instead of blaming the people at the top who were basically just milking this cow in the completely wrong direction. Like the individuals who literally crippled the Star Wars brand until The Mandalorian came along and saved their asses, and now they're trying to ride on The Mandalorian's coattails. So I can understand her apprehension of basically interacting with fans. Like, she says that she enjoys when she meets fans who are genuine fans and not people who are just trying to like run up and get a quick signature because they know that they can make a quick buck. But she genuinely enjoys like meeting little girls at like conventions who are dressed as Rey, or meeting people who are cosplaying as Rey, or like genuine fans with genuine interactions, instead of basically the sleazeballs who attack her online and then also have harsh things to say about her in public. So I understand like the whole reason as to why she deleted her Instagram, deleted her socials, and she basically went on like a sabbatical away from being an actor for like the last few years since The Last Jedi ended. Completely understand where she's coming from with that. She also had some really great points talking about how new people who are coming into Star Wars really need to just get off social media. And she's absolutely right. If you're someone new coming into a major franchise, get off social media. Like, suspend your Instagram, your Twitter, your TikTok. Suspend it all. Turn off comments. Do all that shit. Because no matter what you do, and no matter how good you are, people are going to attack you. And to be quite honest, I'm waiting. Because whoever they announce to be the new Superman, there's a ton of vitriol coming that person's way, because of the fact that there are a bunch of people who, for whatever reason, refuse to move on past Henry Cavill. They are going to be in that person's DMs calling them every single type of name outside of their name. They're going to be on their ass on their Instagram, on their Twitter, on their TikTok. Delete it all. Just get rid of it all. Save yourself a piece of like the peace of mind. Like, do what Kevin Durant does and make burner accounts so that nobody can ever find you ever. You can just surf the internet in peace. So I understand like the suggestion that she made to the new actresses who are basically coming in. Like, for the new actress, it's a young black woman doing The Acolyte. I already know there's a ton of shit waiting for her. So what Daisy Ridley says is true. Like, just abandon all those notions, get away from that shit, get away from social media in general, focus on the art and focus on yourself. Because to quote Marshawn Lynch, you got to focus on 3 things. You got to take care of 3 things out here in this world. You got to take care of your body, you got to take care of your mentals, and you got to take care of that chicken. Those are the 3 major things you want to take care about. I will put mentals over body, and then chicken as the last thing you want to focus on. But take care of those 3 things because Hollywood will burn you out. Now, the second article that she put out spoke about how she didn't feel like she deserved to be Rey until the 3rd movie. Once again, that's not her fault. That has everything to do with the direction that they wrote the character, which is the first character, the character really didn't have a direction. We didn't really know where the character was going to end up, and because of how they basically did the 3 different directors and 3 different scripts, you don't really know what's going on until you meet your next director. You don't know what direction your character is going in. Your character is kind of just aimless. It's listless. They're just floating there. And that's how the character ended in the first movie. In the second movie, we ended with the exact same situation again, where you thought the character was going to go in one direction, but instead the character just kind of floated there, doing nothing, getting pulled in this direction, getting pulled in that direction, and ending up right back where they began at the beginning of the movie. The third movie is where the character basically got the direction that we were all basically waiting on, which is the path down towards being a Jedi, towards the direction of taking on the great evil. You know, typical Star Wars shit. But for the most part, it happens in the third movie. This character jump, this character arc is something that should have happened in the second movie, because the second movie is supposed to set up like, oh my god, I met Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is going to be training me on how to be a fucking Jedi, and then we're going to determine who's going to be the big bad villain that we're going to have to take down in the third movie. But instead, the second movie spends so much time stroking its own ego, you don't really go anywhere. You basically go in this big circle and end up back at square one, and then J.J. Abrams has to come in with the third movie and tie up 50 million loose ends, which are loose ends created from the second movie and 50 loose ends created from his first movie, and then coalesce them into just a ball of garbage that we got with Rise of Skywalker. So I can understand that. I can understand that she really didn't understand like whether or not she deserved to be here or whether or not she deserved to play the character, because to be quite honest, the character didn't get fleshed out to like a really decent extent until the third movie. I think that Daisy Ridley was a good choice to play Rey. However, I believe that like 90% of the characters they introduced in the sequel, all of the actors got the shaft. John Boyega got the shaft. Daisy Ridley got the shaft. Oscar Isaac got the shaft. Luke Skywalker himself, who for whatever reason, I always forget somebody's name when I want to bring him up, he got the shaft. Leia got the shaft. I'm forgetting names here because it's really early in the morning. Leia got the shaft. Everyone who was supposed to have some type of important character arc. Ben Swolo, shaft. Like, any type of important character arc, any type of interesting direction your character was supposed to go in, shaft. And it's both J.J. Abrams' fault, Rian Johnson's fault, Kathleen Kennedy's fault, which is why Kathleen Kennedy's getting her own fucking video, which is probably going to also include the two jabronis themselves, and Disney's direction for Star Wars that really basically screwed all of these actors. Now, of course, these actors have basically moved on and they're doing completely new things in different universes and different worlds. I would say, like, out of the 3 of them, because of Daisy Ridley's sabbatical, I would say probably Oscar Isaac is the one who's currently doing the best. I'd say John Boyega is right behind him. Then I'd put Daisy. I wouldn't even put Daisy Ridley as third. Like, I really feel as though coming out of this, Daisy Ridley got the brunt. Like, she got the brunt of being fucked over. And that's kind of sad because, like I said, it's not her fault in any way, shape, or form. I understood exactly where she was coming from when she like was answering all these questions in regards to Star Wars and like her time being on Star Wars. And she really sounds as though, for the most part, she's really jaded in regards to being an actress now, where her experience was so bad that she's just kind of like, you know, if I'm doing something, that's fine. But like, for the same time, I'm not really interested in dealing with like all of that. And I completely understand, because like if I had a completely shitty experience with Star Wars, like a big franchise, I wouldn't be interested in doing things for like, let's say, the MCU or the DCU or anything along those lines. But look, Let me know how you feel. Like, do you really are there people out there who believe that Daisy Ridley, I can't even say her name, Daisy Ridley, an unknown actress at the time, who was basically plucked from a group and then placed before us as the lead character of like a new trilogy? Do you truly believe that this person is the one at fault for all of the trials and tribulations that Star Wars has basically gone through for the last 15 years? Are you that delusional in believing that? And are you willing to say that in the comment section below? Or do you believe that Daisy Ridley was basically sacrificed on a fucking altar by upper management and corporate assholes at Disney who mismanaged the fuck out of Star Wars, but at the exact same time did not want any of the heat that was gonna come their way, and basically like left her to the wolves to deal with all of that vile, stressful bullshit? Comment down below. Let me know. Let me know what your take is on Daisy Ridley in Star Wars and the character of Rey Skywalker in general. Do you blame Daisy Ridley for the path that Rey Skywalker ended up at the end of the new trilogy, the sequel trilogy? Or are you the type of person who can take a step back, look around, and go, okay, this wasn't Daisy's fault. This was the fault of J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy? Comment down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.